Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on today's live stream. My name is James Shuler. I'm here with Sam, and we're from the media ministry team here at Spruce Creek. As you can see, I'm kind of in my office here. Sam's outside hanging out. How's it going, Sam?
It's going good. I want to keep this short because I don't want to get a sunburn.
You need to have a hat on or something, man. So Sam and I just wanted to talk about just the media here at Spruce Creek, everything that's been done since last year and then moving forward, and just give you guys kind of a behind the scenes kind of recap from our perspective, everything that's gone into what we've done here, and just have some fun here. Sam, anything you want to add or kick off with?
Well, James, you and I kind of prepared some questions. So I'll just start off with the first question. How and when did you get started with doing media stuff?
Are you throwing that back at me?
I'm throwing it back at you.
So a little bit of my background is I've been doing, some of you guys know this, some of you don't. I've been doing photography and video for many, many years. I've been doing video actually a lot longer, and do a lot of photography. I do a lot of weddings, and so it's with everything that's happened, I've been able to utilize that skill set and bring it into some of the live stream stuff that we've done and are doing, and just taking what I know and just applying it with the live stream. Of course, obviously working with Sam and others. But Sam's the audio guru, and I've relied a lot on him to take my skill set and his skill set and match things together, and it's worked out well. So, how about you, Sam?
I started the church I was going to when I was 10. So that's almost 8 years now. That I started doing just helping out with the sound. They were doing a media ministry that was just portable audio. So I started learning rapping chords and playing with the soundboard then, and um, that's when I started. And then I've been involved in sound with every church I've been to, whether it's uh, leading it or planning a of redesign or a new construction. Um, it's a long habit I've had,
So to
and
pick,
it's been a little bit more than 8 years.
it's awesome. So to piggyback on that, I just wanted to take you guys kind of through a recap, and I've got kind of everything set up here in the program I'm using. So we'll take you guys through a recap of when things first started, and this is what it looked like way back then. A lot of churches, a lot of companies, kind of went into reactive mode, and but at least we were able to continue to get the church service, live streamed. So this is what you're seeing here. Then we kind of moved to, okay, hey, we'll put the phone sideways so everybody can see it on their iPads and tablets and things a little bit better. And we've progressed from there, and it's been a great experience. But you can see this is from a year ago approximately. We actually went. I was looking back on the videos. We actually went live Mother's Day, in terms of using the equipment and stuff that we have now and moving into everything that we've done now. So this will just kind of give you a recap of what things looked like back then, and everything that was going on, and we just kind of took the ball and took off. I know I contacted Sam, I contacted a couple of others, and just said, hey, this is great, but with all that we have at the church, let's ramp this up and let's make it a lot better. And of course I reached out to Sam and and what he knows, and said let's get on this and see what we can do. So here we are a year later. I think things look pretty good. So, and I know Sam and I and others have had a lot of fun doing this.
Yep, we have had a lot of fun. Um, I think my first time listening to the live stream, um, it was adequate, but it sounded like we were talking in a cave.
Exactly. And that's when, yeah, when I heard it too, I just said, no, we gotta fix this. And then you'll notice if you look back there, it sounded like that, and then I think a week or two later, it sounded much better. And then of course the cameras and things came in after that, so it's it's been a lot of fun. So Sam, just going over some of the questions that we put together. Obviously, this platform is great for everybody. It's great for people to be able to view the service, search for our church, search for sermons. So, in light of all this, what's been, our questions here, what's the goal and the purpose of doing this? What do we want to keep in mind while we're doing this?
My goal is twofold. While running the equipment, I've seen quite a few people from across the nation and across the world log in and watch. I know Jeff had some friends in New Jersey that would watch pretty regularly. And then it's also been exciting to see some of those who, due to the pandemic, aren't able to come out, and they're able to participate and show appreciation and be able to listen to the sermons week after week. So that is one of my favorite parts, and it's also one of the goals I have, is like we are spreading the gospel as best we can to a nationwide and worldwide audience, but especially for those who are unable to make it to the in-person service.
Right. And I know that's the big thing for me, and just, and talking to my family up north and talking to friends everywhere, and just thinking about this in general is, COVID's had a huge impact on everybody worldwide, but it's been neat to see how even through these tough times, God has progressed the gospel, enabled us to get the gospel out. It's enabled, in my opinion, those who may feel uncomfortable to come to church, now they can, see a service. I don't want to, say, hey, we want to continue doing that, or we want that individual to keep doing that. But, it's enabled them to worship and get the gospel message out, as you said. So I think it's been a great aspect of it. Biggest challenges, Sam, in doing this? What are some of the fun that we've had?
In doing this particular thing, I think the biggest challenge I've had is getting things installed, whether it's hoping for somebody else to come along with me and install it, or to do it myself. It hasn't been nearly as bad as when I and Douglas installed some of the cables that we used when we moved the soundboard from the little air conditioning closet to where it is now. And then when we installed the outdoor speakers. But this has been a learning experience as I adjust to adding video. And I used to say, if I didn't want to be on the other side of the mic singing, the best way to do that is be behind the board. And now I can add the camera to that as well.
Right.
If I don't want to be in front of the camera, I can be behind the camera. So,
yeah, and there's been, obviously this live streaming introduces some complexity in terms of things. I mean, it's one thing to do a PowerPoint slide, like we used to do, and now we've just totally went from playing t-ball, baseball, if you will. Now we just moved into the major leagues just like that. But again, with what Sam knows, with what I know, and working together and sharing knowledge, I mean, it's been a great experience. One of the first hurdles that we had to overcome, if some of you remember, was because nowadays there's so many platforms to use in terms of live streaming. But the route that we went, which is great and I love it, is we had to overcome the audio video issue pretty quickly. I knew it was there. It was just a matter of doing some testing, recording, doing some testing, recording, and then basically syncing up that audio and video to match. And once we've got that down, everything was pretty smooth after that. We got it pretty quickly. There was a couple of weeks that it was off, and I know in videos that I've watched, it's frustrating. It's a little irritating to watch, but we overcame that hurdle and got through that. Anything you want to add, or?
I think the next biggest hurdle is getting other people involved.
Yep.
We've got a few. We're always open for more. But the dream I have, and I think James has it as well, is that James and I can both be watching on the stream or watching in person with our families, watching in person in the service with our families. And somebody else can carry on the torch, so to speak. Just that the ministry itself isn't dependent on James or I, but it can carry on without us.
Yeah, so if there's others that want to learn how to do this, we would love for you to help out. Just as Sam said, you got to keep in mind, I mean, we love to do this. This is our passion. This is our ministry. We love doing these things with these nerdy skills, as I often say to my wife, and she says back to me. But to put things into perspective, neither Sam nor I have really had a chance to worship with our family in 9 months or even longer. One of us has always been back there, or if not both. So anybody that wants to learn, come on board, help us out. We're willing to cross-train. We're actually in that cross-training phase now. We've been there we did it for a few weeks. We're now picking it up again. And so if this is something that you're interested in, please contact either Sam or I, contact the church. Just let us know. But we'd love to have some more people come on board and give us a hand. So.
Yeah, speaking of samurai, you don't have to be a ninja to do it.
All right, and then just going through the questions again, Sam. Most rewarding did we touch on all of them except this one? Most rewarding aspect?
We did. I love to see people that aren't able to come. I love to see, we recently started broadcasting Sunday schools, men's Bible study. I've seen one of the tall Tims log in several times to men's Bible study when he was either working or otherwise detained. And it shows that the gospel in the community is getting out without necessarily being here. I think everybody would prefer to be in person, but virtual is it's a good alternative. And I'm done. Back to you, James.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I guess the one thing I wanted to say on that is, and I tread lightly when I say this, is, we just don't want this complacency to set in with people in terms of worshiping from home. And again, I say that lovingly, I say that respectfully. We know there are many others, or there's many that can't make it to church due to autoimmune issues, things like that. But we don't want the live stream to take forefront for us worshiping together. The writer of Hebrews in 10:25, chapter 10, verse 25, tells us to not forsake coming together, encouraging one another. And that's what we want to use or want to see each week. And believe me, it's there's been a couple of Sundays for me that I get up, my sinuses are going crazy. I get in the shower, I get out, hoping the heat and the steam will clear it up, and I'm it's still bothering me. And then I'm like, maybe I could just grab some breakfast and sit on the couch. And then I'm like, no, I need to get in. The family needs to get in. So we just encourage everyone. The live stream's great, but if you can be there and worship with us, that's what we want, is to come together as a corporate body of Christ. So
I do appreciate you taking time off while you were positive.
Yeah, that was quite a mess. I don't ever want to go through that again. So I don't know if anybody's on, if there's any questions that anyone wants to ask, anything anybody wants to say. Hang out for a few minutes. Hey, David, how's it going? David Shire's watching here. Other than that, I guess we'll go ahead and close it down, Sam. This is kind of a first run for Sam and I, so you'll, with anything, you'll see this get better. I just kind of threw what you're seeing on the screen now together for a few minutes, and then brought Sam into the stream and took off from there. And I think next time I'm gonna pull a Sam and get by the beach and just kind of hang out. And
It works.
hey, just as long as I can hear your audio and video, we're good. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining. And anything else you want to add, Sam, or say?
So those of you who've been in person, you might have noticed a camera going up on the sides of the church. And the idea is not to catch you while you're sleeping in service, but more so that we can use it for A, Sunday school, or B, for congregational meetings. And it also allows us to get the musicians that are up front, especially when the congregation is standing. We often get a lot of heads or hands in the way.
Yep. All right, guys.
Never once mine.
I'm sorry?
Never once mine because I'm behind or too short. So I'm good.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here with us. If you're catching this later, you can always comment, in the comments field. We'll reply back to you. And then hopefully this is something that Sam and I will start to do a little bit more often. Hint, hint, Sam.
I'm good. One of my goals for this kind of thing was to eventually do all the ministry themes.
I agree. So other ministries, if you're watching, we're coming for you. All right, guys. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you on our next video post. All right? Have a good one, Sam.